If the Republican Party is trying to shake off the perception of racism in its ranks, past few days haven't been much help with not one, but two examples straight from the top. First, Iowa Congressman Steve King, he who represents First in the Nation caucus constituents, asked the New York Times, quote, "White nationalist, white supremacist, Western civilization, how did that language become offensive? Why did I sit in classes teaching me about the merits of our history and our civilization?" Well, Americans have done plenty of good, Steve. If you were paying any attention in those history classes, you would have learned they've done a lot of bad, too. And that whitewashing and demeaning other cultures, just like you've done time and again, is a big part of it. But if you think he'd back down, think again. The day after their quote was published, King took to the House floor to, quote, clarify things.
It's true that, like the Founding Fathers, I am an advocate for Western civilization's values, and under any fair political definition, I am simply an American nationalist. I defend American civilization, which is an essential component of Western civilization.
Was that even in English? House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy put his foot down, though.
That language has no place in America. Action will be taken. I'm having a serious conversation with Congressman Steve King on his future and role in this Republican Party.
Kudos to McCarthy. Now let's see what serious conversation actually means. As for the president's response, here's what he said when he was asked about King's comments today.
I haven't been following it. I really haven't been following it.
Really? You've been following every other political story and what you so affectionately refer to as the failing New York Times pretty carefully. But I'm sure there are fine people on both sides of this issue, too. And speaking of racism, in a late-night tweet, Trump wrote about a 2-week-old Instagram video from Elizabeth Warren. Quote, "If Elizabeth Warren, often referred to by me as Pocahontas, did this commercial from Bighorn or Wounded Knee instead of her kitchen with her husband dressed in full Indian garb, it would have been a smash." Indian garb, Bighorn, Wounded Knee. Clearly Trump didn't pay attention in history class either. First, the Battle of Wounded Knee was no battle. It was the massacre of 300 members of Sioux Nation, mostly women and children, carried out by American soldiers. And as for the Battle of Little Bighorn, that was a conflict between the Sioux and Cheyenne nations and American soldiers that resulted in hundreds of casualties on both sides. And regardless of your views of Warren, please tell me this Pocahontas thing offends you too. So, do you have plans to have a serious conversation with the president, Congressman McCarthy? I didn't think so. What do you think? Email us, tweet us, share your thoughts.